Hey everyone, I'm Danny Jack. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about growth mindset. The first thing I want to ask you is if you think talent is something that you are born with or something that you develop over time. Chances are, depending on how you answer that question, may tell us if you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. So this week I've been reading the book Mindset by Dr Carol S Dweck. She's an American psychologist, and basically in the book she talks about the neuroplasticity of the mind, and basically if we have the ability to learn as we get older or if basically our base level intelligence is fixed when we're born. It's a great book. It goes into some detail about like how we should be teaching and praising children as well, so that they don't adopt a fixed or growth mindset. But in this video, I just wanted to go through kind of the differences between the two and how I think I'm trying to adopt more of a growth mindset, and maybe how you can employ some of these tactics for yourself. As always, if you find the video interesting, press like, press subscribe. I'm doing videos about productivity, mindset, learning, photography, and just whatever I feel like, really. So first off, what defines someone who has a growth mindset? So in the book, they talk about people with growth mindsets are people who love a challenge, people who see things being difficult as something they can relish because they know it's a chance to learn. You know, the opportunity to fail means that they are pushing themselves and they're getting better every time, and they actually relish those challenges. They have a natural love for learning, and they know that failure is a part of that learning. They know that they can get better as they go along, and they know that learning is never done. So they're constantly trying to learn and constantly trying to develop, as opposed to thinking that if you are not good at something, then, you know, then you've got no chance. And this is what a fixed mindset is. It's the opposite of a growth mindset. It's basically where if you think that you're no good at something, it means that you're never going to be good at it. So you end up just not trying. You know, let's say if you have a new hobby that you're trying out and you're not immediately good at it, you think, oh, I don't have a talent for it, so I may as well just not try. I may as well give up straight away. People in the fixed mindset category, they don't rise to challenges, they tend to run from them. They don't like things being too difficult. They don't like being tested because they see it as like a challenge against their character. In the book, Dr. Carol Dweck talks about how we often fluctuate between the two mindsets, but obviously some people are more in the fixed mindset category, some people are more in the growth mindset category, but you can move between the two. One thing in the book I really resonated with was how she talked about the growth mindset sort of making you happier overall. People with a growth mindset, they focus on the process, they focus on just constantly improving and the learning of, you know, getting better at something in every step. Whereas people with the fixed mindset tend to focus only on the end goal, and if they don't achieve that goal, they see themselves as failures, and that's often why they don't try in the first place. One person who embraced the growth mindset was basketball legend Michael Jordan. So as you may know, Michael Jordan was originally cut from his high school basketball team. You know, they say he wasn't good enough and he didn't have the natural ability to be a basketball player. However, he didn't let this stop him. He got to work, he practiced his free throws, he practiced day and night, and eventually, you know, he became the legend we know today. This is a great example of how greatness is grown and not born. So one quote from Michael Jordan I really like is when he says, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to make the game-winning shot and miss. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." This is growth mindset at work. You know, Michael Jordan obviously has said that he is showing up over and over again and putting the work in and, you know, embracing failure and as the way of him getting to where he wanted to be and not giving up just because he fell down, he picked himself back up. There's another quote from him I really like where he says, "I can accept failure, everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying." I also see examples of the growth and fixed mindset in my own world of professional photography. There are a lot of photographers there who are always striving to get better all the time. I can remember once when I went to a convention of wedding photographers, and there was one of the best wedding photographers in the world. Like, everyone loves and respects this person. They are like really well known in the industry as just being the very top of the game. However, when that person wasn't speaking, they were sat in the audience and they were taking notes, they were asking questions, they were still trying to improve themselves. Even at the very, very top of the game, they still had that growth mindset of trying to get better over time. Whereas, unfortunately, I also know people in the fixed mindset category in our profession where, you know, the way they see things is the only way to do it, and anyone who challenges, you know, them and tries and wants them to try out new things, you know, they won't try new things because they don't want to be seen as a failure. They don't want to be embarrassed by the fact that they've tried something new and it's not worked straight away. So they sort of get stuck, they sort of get boxed into their own way of doing things, and pretty soon everyone leaves them behind and everyone progresses past them. I think this is another defining reason why growth mindset is beneficial over a fixed mindset, because you know, you might have someone who is naturally talented at something to start with. There may be someone who would be naturally very good at photography, for example, but if they don't push and if they don't, you know, live outside of their comfort zone, pretty soon everyone is going to start moving past them. You know, it's not necessarily the people who start the most talented who end up the best. So how can we adopt more of a growth mindset in our own lives? One of the ways you can do this is by embracing the word yet. So instead of saying I'm not good enough for this, you can say I'm not good enough yet. Or if you say something like I don't understand physics, that's fine. But instead you would say I don't understand physics yet. So for example, in the world of photography, you wouldn't say I'm not good at photography, you'd say I'm not good at photography yet. Just by putting that word yet at the end of a sentence says that, you know that maybe you don't have the skills at the moment, but you know that you are going to get there eventually. You're going to put in the work and you're going to, eventually become a great photographer because you've accepted that mindset. Another way we can embrace the growth mindset is by focusing on the journey, not on the destination, which I know it sounds a little bit cheesy, but kind of focusing on the process of what you're doing as opposed to focusing too much on goals is going to help you to stay a lot more positive in the learning experience and, not get downhearted when you trip or when you fail. In fact, when you get into the habit of recognizing failure as part of a learning experience, you can start to push towards failure. You can live outside your comfort zone and start to push and try new things over time. And yes, you'll fail, but that just means that you are on the right path. Finally, to better adopt the growth mindset, we can remember that perfection is not a thing, and that our work is never done. Trying to get better at something is not like an end destination. You don't become like perfect at something. That's a myth. You can just keep working and working. So knowing that even the best in the industry, even the best at a certain hobby or skill are not perfect at it. They're still pushing, they're still getting better every single day. And if we can remember that, we can remember that we're just on a journey and everyone is on that journey together. So that's it. That's kind of what I took from this book. I'd highly recommend you give it a read. Once again, it's called Mindset. It's by Dr Carol S Dweck. And yeah, it's brilliant. So I will leave a link to this in the description. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think about fixed versus growth mindset. Is it a thing? Is it just a load of nonsense? I'd love to hear from you. Please please press subscribe, press the bell icon, all that good stuff, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.